Welcome to AniBreak, your weekly shot of bite-sized news on anime, manga, and video games. I'm Jason, and this is a new format for the show. I hope you'll enjoy it, but if you don't, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Let's get started with news out of Italy, where the first new Lupin III TV series in over 30 years was announced. Yes, I know there was the Woman Called Fujiko Mine TV series from a few years back, but that was considered a spin-off as it focused mainly on Fujiko's escapades during her younger days. This new series will take place in Italy and San Marino. No news yet on casting or storyline, but the crew behind this series is enough to get people excited. Namely, this guy, the chief director of this new series, Kazuhide Tomonaga. He's worked on Lupin projects before, like The Mystery of Mamo, but he's best known for being the key animator on the entire iconic car chase scene from the Castle Cagliostro. In a recent interview, Tomonaga stated that for this iteration of the iconic Thief and crew, he wants to depict a Lupin in which conflicting elements coexist, hard-boiled yet comical, cool yet tongue-in-cheek. The only other thing we know about this series right now is that the world premiere will take place in Italy next spring. So there is a bit of a wait, but I'm sure something as legendary as Lupin III won't stay there for long. With the end of the Death Gun story arc in Sword Art Online 2, I was beginning to wonder how long of a wait I was in until the next season. Apparently, not long at all. Aniplex announced the next chapter of SAO2 will include two story arcs. The Caliber arc, which revolves around the quest for the legendary sword Excalibur, and the Mother's Rosary arc, in which Asuna faces a duel against a secretive avatar named Zekken for an original sword skill. If there's any downside to this, I'd have to say it was the length of these story arcs, as the Caliber arc is slated to start October 18th, while the Mother's Rosary arc is slated to start less than a month later on November 8th. I haven't read the light novels for these stories yet, so it's hard for me to speculate, but I can say with absolute certainty that having more SAO is definitely a good thing. Last weekend at the New York Comic-Con, Sunrise announced that it's working with retailer RightStuf to release the Gundam franchise in the States. Like, all of it. Under this partnership, they will start next spring with the release of the first Mobile Suit Gundam series, along with two series that have never officially made it stateside, Turn A Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta. Sunrise also announced their plans to release the Gundam The Origin OVA stateside with an English dub. Gundam redefined the mecha genre 35 years ago, and now it looks like fans here in the States can finally experience it all from the beginning, most likely like this way. We mentioned a while back that distributor G-Kids will be screening Studio Ghibli's latest film, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, in US theaters. Well, that initial theater listing was very small, as in just 2. Since then, G-Kids has announced a whole slew of screenings across the US. It's now up to 37 theaters in 22 states. Granted, the majority of these screenings are for one day only, but hey, it's a start. We'll post a link to the theater list in the show notes. It seems like Miku is everywhere in the States nowadays, from hosting festivals and concerts on both coasts to her network television premiere on late night. By the way, could Letterman look any more confused or awkward when he was standing next to Miku? It looks like Miku still has a few tricks up her digital sleeves, as last week a brand new video surfaced online, showcasing Square Enix's Tetsuya Nomura's take on the popular Vocaloid. Looking at this, it just screams Final Fantasy character to me, which, given the designer, is not that surprising. In a recent interview, Nomura said that there was a possibility of a game in this collaboration. All I'm saying is, if Lightning can traverse space and time and end up in Final Fantasy XIV, Miku can show up in a Squeenix game, like maybe Final Fantasy XV, or even better, Kingdom Hearts 3. Hey, a man can dream. For those of you who really like this version of Miku, and were hoping for something more than just a picture or a video, you are in luck, because she is getting a variant PlayArts Kai figure. No word yet on release date or price, but I'm sure that given the names who are attached to this figure, it's not going to be cheap. Keeping with the figure news for a moment, GoodSmile Company announced a brand new figure line for all you collectors out there. It's called GoodSmile Arms. This lineup is essentially merging the posability of Figmas with the intricate details of mechs. The first release in this new line will be Chamber from the series Gargantia on the Virtuous Planet. This 1/50th scale figure will be just 7.5 inches tall. Aside from the ball joints in the arms and legs, Chamber has over 20 points of articulation, so you can be free to pose them in any way you choose. When I said these figures will be detailed, they go to the extreme. I mean, even the area inside the cockpit will be included. Now, no word yet if GoodSmile will include a tiny figure to go in there, but if not, I'm sure that won't stop the die-hard fans from making their own. Chamber is currently slated to release next May, but pre-orders are available right now. Depending on where you order him, he'll set you back about $150 to $200. For our last news bite, if buying that Chamber figure isn't for you, I may have found something else for you to spend your money on. Presenting Accent Wear headphones. These cans include a pair of cat ears with LED lights and working external speakers. While I can't vouch for the audio quality of this headset, the design itself is definitely head-turning, especially if you decide to turn on the external speakers. The duo behind this project launched a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo just a week ago, and they've already amassed over $1 million in funding.
$1 million.
If you want to pick up your own pair, they start at $150 for one of 4 colors, plus there are some extra color packs for those who wish to pay a bit more. Given the success of this project so far, it's a good bet you'll start seeing people wearing these headphones at every convention for at least the next year, and most likely blaring music that they feel that everyone around them needs to hear. Well, that's it for this episode of AniBreak. If you like the new format or just want to say that I was wrong about something, let me know in the comments section below. And be sure to tune in every Sunday for From My Mother's Basement, where Michael and I celebrate everything geek. You can find out more information on AniBreak and FMMB at OtakuLife.net. See you next week.